Hey guys, it's Saru, and if you didn't know already, then know now that the huge update for TERA Console on April, which yes is Revamp as some have come to know it as, is coming on April 1st in the evening or April 2nd for other regions. It's basically coming at the same time, it's just a time zone thing. So a lot of players have been asking me what Revamp is, how to get ready for it, and those that do know want to know the important question on everyone's minds: conversions. So let's start it at the beginning, and I'll be using PC as a little bit of an example or a crutch maybe to show you guys how some of the things may work. Now, when you start the game right after the update, you'll be able to go to Dougal in Highwatch, which is located right here, and he will give you brand new gear and accessories, which will be the Guardian gear. From there, you will have the ability to upgrade your Guardian gear, assuming you haven't converted your other gear, to level 6. So, just to show you here, it's been a 100% success chance. You just require the materials. Now, I'm out of this specific material. What do I do? Well, as you can see, I'll visit the Metamorphic and Entropic shop by clicking on the items. So it looks like I have enough just to purchase some wood scraps, so let's purchase 51. Now that I have 51, I can continue upgrading until +6. At +6, only for Guardian gear however, I'll have the option to upgrade into my next gear, which is going to be Twist Shard, which is going to cost different materials and gold, and it's going to be a completely different system. So once you get your Twist Shard gear, or even the Guardian gear, you'll be able to select the effects that you want on it, which is completely free of charge. However, if you want to change some of the effects later on, they will cost you semi-enigmatic scrolls. But they won't be RNG, you'll be able to select whatever you want on them. So I can start upgrading, but you'll notice that it costs a little bit more, different materials needed and success chances. Now as you can see on my item XP, it's 0 out of 272. Having it higher and maxed out will increase the success chance, but so will failing. So let's try to enchant as fast as we can. Now I failed at +2 to +3, and now I'm giving a 3% chance increase. So that's basically how it goes. It's still RNG, but it's just not as reliant to RNG as the others were. Basically, if you have enough golden materials, you can max out. Now something to keep in mind is that the success chances for higher tiers of gears will be much more expensive and very different. And this enchant or upgrade system is for everything, meaning that your accessories or belts or circlets or earrings, whatever the case, which is also accessory actually, so that's kind of dumb, I don't know why I said that, gear, weapons, or whatever, everything can be enhanced, or rather enchanted or upgraded, whatever. So I'm sure if the console version will actually be slightly different with this, but you'll be able to convert some, not all, but some items into entropic or metamorphic emblems. So an example is this metal fragment. Now this metal fragment is specific to this version, so Revamp, but as you'll see, it'll have the ability for me to dismantle it, and from there you'll see that I'll receive 3 metamorphic emblems for it. So I would like to warn everyone ahead of time and state that the conversion rates for console will not be the same as PC. PC conversions were based on the availability of the materials in that platform, meaning that our conversions will be entirely different. So there's a chance that there will be a list in the patch notes themselves as to what the conversions are, but I do not believe that those lists will be handed out ahead of time. That's all I can say. So for those that are waiting for like an essential mana list that has the whole gear revamp conversion list, it will not come out until the day of patch notes. At least that's what I've been told. So before anyone asks what golden derricks are, which they might have seen in this video, they are crafted versions of the golden talents. So for me to get a golden derrick, I'll need to go into the smelting, and I need golden talents to actually create them. So as you can see in my crafting, I have smelting and processing as 2 different crafting systems now. I'll need 5 golden talents to create 1 derrick. So before I continue, I wanted to state something that's a little bit more evergreen and makes a little more sense, because when you see Revamp on April, it will not have these specific categories instead of armor crafting and weapon crafting and all that stuff. So just to kind of update you a little bit, on December 2018 on PC, they had the whole fishing event, which completely changed the crafting system altogether. So to keep this console a little more evergreen, I wanted to use more long-term stuff. Now in the future, things will cost 5, but on Revamp, at least when it released on TERA on PC, it was 3 golden talents to create 1 golden derrick. So do not take these specific values that I'm stating, like 5 golden talents or whatever, or the category names here on this video on what will be coming on Revamp on April. It's a completely different thing that comes down the line in the crafting system that's been upgraded later on with fishing, like I said. So again, that's just a note. Anyways, continuing on. Now it's a similar process for golden plates. In processing, however, you'll be able to create silver siglos or silver plates. Now with Revamp, crafting becomes a priority as it's needed for you to push push progression. An example is for me to push my frost metal, for example, here on PC, you'll need that I need emeralds in order to enchant. Luckily, you can craft rubies, sapphires, emeralds, and diamonds. Now, you'll need one to make the other, except rubies, which you can just make endless amounts of if you have the gold. So for sapphires, you'll need 2 rubies, for emeralds, you'll need 5 sapphires, and for diamonds, you'll need 10 emeralds. You don't necessarily need to craft these gems as they do drop in dungeons now, but it's just good to know. For those that are going to be asking me what dungeons are released, I don't want to really put that out on this video because this video is just basically what Revamp is. So lastly, on your Vanguard Shop, Masterwork Alcahest won't be there, of course, because well, you don't need it anymore, and instead you'll be able to purchase entropic emblem boxes to purchase golden or silver talents. Now Revamp makes it easier to push progression if you have the golden materials, as I said before, so if you've seen the list on essentialmana.com, please disregard those values, but at the same time hoard those items if you haven't already. So though they may be lower, at least you'll get something. Heck, maybe they'll be higher. Anything of progressional value like talismans or badges, whatever, keep them and they'll probably have value. Hopefully. So, I asked my wonderful community here on YouTube a couple days ago what they wanted to know about Revamp and how they could get ready. And these are some of the questions that I received. From Emmanuel Araujo, I don't know if that's how your last name is said. He asks, what will happen to the feedstock? I have tier 12 and I won't use them because, well, I don't have the death rec set. Well, my dearest Emmanuel, you'll be able to convert that feedstock into emblems. As for how much per feedstock, I wouldn't be able to tell you as I don't know. From Emmanuel Gunner. I don't know how to say these names, to be honest. How does the tier of weapons work for the upcoming revamp? Like today, we have the tier 11 ambush and tier 12 death rack. So the tiers kind of go away because they don't really have a value. So for example, Guardian is tier 13, Twist Shard is tier 14, Frost Metal is tier 15, and so on and so forth. Now those tiers really don't have anything to do with anything since the names really go away. So for example, me as a priest, everything will be called Guardian Priest Robe, Twist Shard Priest Robe, Frost Metal Priest Robe, you know, instead of individual names. Now Miguel Mercado asks, is the revamp going to include a similar to experienced growing armor? I'm unsure what you mean, that made no sense. But if you mean that the armor and gear will basically grow with you and level with you, then technically yes. By that I mean that basically the more dungeons you do and activities you do with those pieces of gear on you, they will increase the experience on your gear. Now I mentioned that like when I said I had 0 XP out of 272 or something like that. That basically means that like the more dungeons you do with that, it'll increase that gear, and it'll also say it in the logs when you finish the dungeon or something. And that just means that the success chance for you to push progression on it will be higher. However, that does not mean that if you do 100% of the experience, so if I do, I don't know, if there's a piece of gear with 1,000,000 XP and I have 1,000,000 XP, that does not mean that it will give you 100% chance success. It just means that it goes higher. Some pieces of gear like Stormcry will be stuck at like 10% or 7%. So just keep that in mind. Beto-kun asks, should we finish enchanting our death rack gear to plus 15 or wait for the update and get all the feedstock for cheap? To be honest, at this point in the game, it's one or the other. One of the metas that was often used in PC when Revamp first came out, that's actually, I left PC about 3 months after Revamp came out. So what a lot of players did was the update came out, so you would convert your items to emblems, and then you actually would be able to purchase feedstock and Masterwork Alcahest with them. And then you can enchant your current gear and then finally convert it over to the next gear. Now, I'm unsure if that will be available here on console, but if it is, you probably won't know until patch note days anyway, so oh lord. So if you're close to plus 15, I suggest pushing it now, and if you're not, then hoard materials and convert them over and then enchant that way. Jinxie Poo asks, if you have plus 12 Guile gear, could you convert it into Guardian gear like I've been told? Guile actually has no value whatsoever, and you'll have Guardian gear no matter what. So the day that you start the game, you'll be able to receive Guardian gear from Dougal, as I said previously, and that's basically the lowest tier gear that you can get. Now, if you have Misery right now, and you have it at plus 12, it would give you a plus 0 Twist Shard. Anything lower than plus 12 Misery, in terms of tiers or in terms of enchantments, will not give you anything. At least according to the gear conversions on Essential Mana. Maybe it'll be different for console, I don't really know, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be staying the same, so. Anyways guys, I hope that answers your questions, and if you have any more questions in relation to Revamp or how it will work on console, then feel free to ask in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe and click that adorable bell to know when I upload a brand new video. Much love, and as always, till next time friends.